Hey, Wooly here, and this video is a showcase of a log packaging tree farm doodah. This is actually in response to W92 Badger's video Mindcrack episode from earlier today, where he built his log farm in creative and ran us through all the bits and bobs. And he admitted that it was quite slow and kind of suggested that if anyone could make it faster, they could kind of get in touch with him. So this is me getting in touch with him. Well, let's see the farm in action first. So pushing the logs up and then retracting the sand, and it's the retracting the sand which is much faster, I think. We're now ready to put another tree in and have at it. So the way this works is basically we have the two sand columns next to each other, and then we pull the pusher, the what Badge calls the lifty upperer, pushy upperer assembly. We pull that out of the way after the cycle is finished, so that we can just drop the sand straight down. In Badgers, it kind of drops down a block and then gets pushed to the side and then drops down and gets pushed to the side, it drops down. So I'll walk you through the circuit quickly. It's not going to be a tutorial. I've only just designed this, so it needs a bit of finessing, but if people want a tutorial, I guess I could do a proper tutorial. Don't need that. So yeah, what we have is a column of blocks here with redstone blocks at strategic points. When we press the button, this gets pushed down. So first thing we want to do is pull the dirt block out of the way, and that happens when the redstone block is, when the column's pushed down, that redstone block is here, powers the repeater, turns off the torch, turns off the redstone, retracts the piston. Now, the last thing we want to do in the circuit is to push the dirt block back in place, which is why we've got all these repeaters here, so that when the power is removed at the end of the cycle, the torch won't turn back on until these repeaters have all drained. So it's got that delayed reset there. So that's what that is. The second thing we want to do in the cycle is to extend this piston, to move this piston across so it can do its job, and also enable the circuit that's going to actually do the pulley, pushy, lifty thing. When the column goes down, this redstone block moves down. This power unpowers the redstone, which turns this torch on, extending this piston and pushing this one into the place it needs to be. Now, while it's retracted, this torch would normally be on, but if it were, it would cause havoc with the pistons that all push each other out of the way and blah blah blah. It'd be terrible, a terrible thing. So it is currently disabled by this torch below, which is holding this torch off. However, when this torch is on, then this wire will depower this torch and allow this torch to come on. So that will set this thing here ready for use. Now what this is pretty much the same thing that Badge has in his log farm. I think that was a really good idea. When the sand column is pushed up here, a block appears here. It goes, so power goes through the block, through the repeater, through this monostable, through this repeater on 3 ticks, into this block, and turns off this torch, which would be on. Now that basically does the whole kind of, this sticky piston pulls the block across, and then this piston, which is here, pushes it up. I found I was having problems with sand physics and the sand breaking, and I found the best way to fix that was a monostable, so that I could calibrate a precise 3-tick pulse into this block here. So that's that. If we go down to the bottom, we're back to this column being pushed down. What it does is it pushes this redstone block down next to this redstone. This goes through a monostable and sets off a hopper timer. This is my standard hopper timer, so there are 15 items in there. So the power makes this piston push the redstone block across. The items drain from there to there. When they finish moving from there to there, this comparator will turn off, turning this torch on, powering this redstone, and this piston pushes the block back to the start, and it will all drain back and reset. So two things happen. While the block is not in this position here, this redstone will be off, which allows this clock to run. This clock does pretty much the same task as that bit up there does. It incorporates a monostable so that I can calibrate a 3-tick output, and it has that's pretty much the same arrangement of block, torch, block as is up there, and it basically runs another pulley lifty set of pistons. Also, when the hopper clock finishes and this torch turns on, as I mentioned earlier, it runs a signal through this delay line into this piston to push this all up and reset the system. So let's have one more look at that in action. I don't mind all of this stuff up here. This is just a smart piston and a smart piston wall, just to so I can demonstrate it without there being too many logs and it snarling the system up. Anyway, let's boom, and here we go. So we've got this clock running now. It's pushing, doing this here, and then the sand drops down and the dirt comes across, and we're ready to plant again. Anyway, if you want me to finesse this design a little bit and do a proper tutorial, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Beautiful.